Welcome back to News Insights on Last Light News. We've seen actions of human rights activists and also presidential candidates in the last election, Sowore, a publisher, how the Inspector General of Police has accused him of cyberbullying, taken to court, and now he's been granted bail. The moment he was granted bail, he came out of the court and saw protesters that were saying, Egbetokun Must Go. He took up the flyer and hung it up and said, the illegal IGP must go. Philip, Sowore again.
Yeah, you know, Omoyele Sowore is a known activist. You know, in the negative and in the positive.
Okay, can you define that for us?
Yes. In the negative, when he allowed himself to be used to put Nigeria in the state we are now. Why do I say so? The road to 2015 election, Sowore played a very large role by putting false information before the public against the government of President Goodluck Jonathan then. False information. Feeding the public with wrong information.
Through his outlet,
Sahara Reporter and all the rest of them. And that largely led to the removal of Goodluck Jonathan. And you know then, when Jonathan was the president of this country, this Nigeria was the biggest economy in Africa. And the economy was booming and it was growing.
Now we are the third biggest.
And people were enjoying everything. Sowore was employed by his masters, who are now turned his enemy, to do the dirty business for them. And he did. Today, it's on the positive side. He's saying that, look, the civil service rule says that when a man is employed by the civil service and is attained the age of 60, he should retire, no matter who you are. That the continuous stay of the present IGP, that is Egbetokun, is illegal because it's overstaying his time, and the taxpayers' money are being paid to his salary and to take care of his upkeep illegally, and that the man should leave office so that other ranking police officers will grow and occupy the seat. That the man is sitting on other people's progress. That the man continually remains there is detriment to other people's progress, which every right-thinking Nigerian should agree with Sowore. And the police has turned around to say, oh, Sowore is cyberbullying the
IGP.
The IGP. Is this same Sowore the same platform they allow him to use to destroy Jonathan's government? That is also using to say the truth. Like Eli will always say that God is exposing them, He's making them to fight against themselves so that Nigeria can know what they've been doing is secret. So for me, Sowore has done the right thing. He has said, in spite of opposition, he was able to come out to say the truth that, look, if everybody will be quiet, I will not be quiet. This man is in this office illegally because his time has elapsed. Even though you are relying on a particular section of the police service commission that when a man is appointed to office for 4 years, his tenure is 4 years. If you know that you want to be office for 4 years, and there are criteria for you to be appointed. For instance, you can't go for an election if you don't have a voter's card. You understand? So this man you can only be appointed as an Inspector General of Police if you are still a police officer. This man ceased to be a police officer since September 4th. What is he doing there? Why should he be in that office? Can a civilian be a Inspector General of Police?
Okay.
That's what Sowore is saying, and I agree with him.
So it's within the ranks of who he is as a police that makes him
exactly.
Police.
You cannot be Inspector General of Police when you are not a police officer.
Yeah. After 60.
No, when you are not. Let's not even go there.
Yeah.
You can only be Inspector General of Police if you are a police officer.
So now he ceased to be a police officer so because it's within a particular age and time limit. Eli, the police, I want to continue from where you stopped. The police said that the IGP's being in office is not illegal.
Well, we have a constitution. We have a constitution that guides civil services, and then he has attained that official age of retirement although the president felt maybe there was no another good head among the police officers
that's completely a failure of the system.
Well, that is it. It's an abuse of office as well.
No. In real life, if the police are telling us that nobody is fit enough or suitable enough or intelligent enough to occupy the office of the IGP, where it's a career system, is a complete total breakdown of the system.
So I won't say that now having a Nigerian that now come out to say, well, this is not good, this is not good for the system and for the other young officers, whom, of course, before you know it, time would have catch up with them. And so even if they are qualified for that position, because the man there is still kept there ahead of them, they will not be able to grow. And if time we catch up with them, of course they may. So saying that this is not good and it's illegal, and then the police wake up, of course, is expected. He is the boss, and he's enjoying that office, and he's left in that office to serve a particular purpose by the president. Because he will not tell me that if he had gone when he was supposed to have left, there are no other officers that would have taken over that position and would have done even good or better than he is doing. And now for the police authority to now take him to court. Well, thank God for even the court, because there was serious argument in the court while the lawyer to the police was saying they should even deny him a bail, which is the Nigerian way. His lawyer now said, no, it's a bailable offense. Do you understand? And then after the whole thing, I'm still happy with some Nigerians that still went to the court in solidarity. And when he came out of the court, he didn't just walk away, he went to join his people, all right, to say the same thing that he has said that made them to take him to the court in the first place. So I think the judge here in this matter have done us a bit proud by at least granting him bail, because one, he's not a criminal, two, he's not going to run away from the trial. So now the question here is this: as this thing has been brought to the open, I hope the president, because of course he's the president that started the whole of this drama by extending his tenure when he was already due for retirement. I hope the presidency will take a look into this thing to save us a little more stress and do the needful, so that the rest young officers who are qualified and ready for this office can step in and contribute their own quota to the growth of the force.
Philip, there are things that most of the time, I think that's one of the things that Amechi was saying, Rotimi Amechi, that they take the people for granted. Is it that the president is taking the people for granted, knowing what is within the confines of the law? Must it be Egbetokun? But is it that without Egbetokun that there's nobody in the police force that can mount the seat of the IG? Is the president not aware? That's one. Secondly, because I want to answer the two of them at the same time. The courts normally give conditions for bail. And these conditions, they're in conflict with what is on ground. You say it must be a director, must have landed properties within the FCT, must have this, must have that. If you're a civil servant, how will you have all these things they're asking for? Is it not a conflict?
Well, I'm going to deviate a little bit before I come to your question. I want to speak more on what Sowore is doing. You know, Sowore has refused to keep quiet, even when other good people decide to keep quiet so that the path can go on. You know, just before I go the last time, I said there are conditions for you to be Inspector General of Police in this country laid down. You and I cannot become Inspector General of Police even though we are qualified. You know why? Because we are not serving police officers. That's what Sowore is saying. This further, reaffirm what the whole country is clamoring for, that this government is a government of nepotism, tribalism, and the government of settlement. You remember that Egbetokun was Commissioner of Police in Lagos. He was deployed to Kwara State for a purpose, and it was achieved. and this is time for him to be settled. That because this is government is what do you call it? A minoko. It is my tongue.
A settlement government.
Yes. So the thing remained, but Sowore is fighting against these vices in this government, this nepotism, this tribalism, and the rest of. And remember that Sowore is from the same enclave with the president, but he doesn't care that the things to be done rightly. That's what Sowore is standing for, and I stand with him on this. He's saying that look, the law to be followed, even though there's a section of the police service so that they are trying to hide on appointment. What they fail to realize, and that's what is meant for the court to be determined. That's why it is too early to praise the court. The court is going to determine whether the person appointed to be in that office, if he ceases to be a police officer, if he can remain in that office. That will be the question before the court. The person that is occupying the office, can he be a police officer? That's the question before the court. Because this man has ceased to be a police officer, and the condition for you to be Inspector General of Police is you must be a serving police officer. Right. Coming to your question, you asked me. Sorry.
No, I won't be able to take that question from you again now because you have taken all your time. Eli, just for 1.5 minutes. This is what Buhari did. Left the serving military officers in position even when their retirement age was attained, and left them there until things were getting rotten. Should this continue with this impunity? Should these presidents continue with what they are doing?
It shouldn't. Nigeria is for all Nigerians. It's not the president's property to use in settling his cronies, his friends and relatives. It's rather unfortunate when you don't allow people who are supposed to handle the offices because of your hatred for them or interest for whoever you think is there at that moment. There won't be growth. The police cannot talk. You know why? If the police officers who are supposed to talk come out to talk as we are talking today, they will say it's treasury. Insubordination. That they are fighting, they are not keeping to order, they are fighting their boss in office. And you know what the authority will do? They will dismiss and try them, which is rather unfair. That is why we have to speak for them. I am very sure that the Nigerian police force, the other officers sitting and waiting for him to go, are not happy, but there's less to which they can. And if you suppress people in their capacity, in their office, to do their duties, you won't get the best.
The best. All right. So a lot seems to be in that bag that will be unveiled. The matter has been adjourned till April this year. But of course, we move on as a country, and that's how we've always moved. We'll be right back on News Insight.